Oh, probably. All right.
Have I missed a game?
I don't think you have. But this is
Weren't you sick once?
oh, maybe. But this is
Maybe.
session 55 of Nyarlathotep. And you guys, last time, you guys spent considerable time with Kakakatak in the underground city of the Great Race, uh, skirting the topic of Alvin's demise and just letting him think that he was merely badly wounded.
It's not quite a lie.
That's true. He was very, very badly wounded. But you guys learned some stuff. You learned that Carver or um, I think it's Houston and Cairo had or uh, in Australia had essentially tortured information out of this ancient being regarding technology. Something about a radium bomb and a desire to poison the sky. None of you know what exactly that means, aside from the fact that it sounds bad. You know that the last important site on the map that you saw back in the pyramid is a place called Grey Dragon Isle off of the coast of Shanghai. Uh, with some knowledge that Kakakatak had imparted to you about basically bending space and time, Miles managed to open a portal from Australia to an alley in Shanghai, saving you guys probably at least a month, if not more, travel time. Because for a minute there, things were looking pretty dicey in terms of how long you had until the eclipse. But thankfully, Miles's mastery of magic, or reasonable facsimile, managed to get you to Shanghai with probably at this point got close to 3 months to spare. So that's a huge step forward in thwarting the evil plans of the various cults. Now all you need to do is figure out what you're going to do. It is currently early afternoon on Saturday, October the 10th. And you guys have just stepped out of the portal in a out of the way alley near the docks of Shanghai.
And we've changed out of our blood so close.
And you changed out of your blood-soaked clothes as a result of the raining blood that happened when the gate opened.
So Alvin says, "Oh, Shanghai. I swear to God, I thought I'd die before I came back here."
Oh, don't say it too loudly.
We're gonna need a
What?
translator again, won't we?
I kind of like it.
Oh,
It smells
yes.
like vice.
Smells like a bar mitzvah.
Or Christmas.
What would you know about Christmas?
Oh yeah. Don't you guys eat
Oh.
Chinese food on Christmas?
I mean,
Understand.
Christmas. It's kind of a funny name, isn't it?
A little bit. Especially since it's a holiday stolen from pagans.
Heathen.
Alright. Sure. We need a translator, yes.
Yes. And then
Base of operation.
A place to stay, yes.
and then a boat. If I remember correctly, we don't want to be in Shanghai. We want to be in some island somewhere, right?
Right.
I mean, we need to
Yes.
prepare before going there, having an idea what they're
Preach.
and they probably have a bunch of people there.
What have you do in your first run here? By how many people are you aided? And how much are we in danger right now?
The last time we were here, a dragon materialized in the sky and chased us and tried to kill us through a collapsing hotel.
For all that guys know, we're dead.
So it's not that bad yet.
Yeah.
Yet we have time to make it worse.
I mean, it seems to be the goal. So, yeah. Okay, and do you have any allies or like people that
Yes,
kind of like you?
we have a nice Asian translator. We
Well, we
have,
did.
yes, he should still be around.
Hopefully.
We had an underground movement of students. We had some homegrown terrorists, freedom fighters, who may or may not be dead because their leader was. Did he leave with his girlfriend when she was rescued, or is he still around?
Don't ask me.
They both disappeared, from what I recall.
I think you said something about that the militia still be willing to help, but they were not ready to do so when you left.
A lot's happened since we were here.
Well, we need a place to anchor down, and we need a way to get information. So I suggest we start with the first, and then we try to get information on what's going on now. What's the current state of affair? Where our allies are at, and where our enemies are at.
Sounds amazing. Let's go.
I'll go through my journal and see what I can recall about.
Because even if I
Who
had
we
to
were
change of
talking
clothes
to
and a bit of
earlier.
dirty river water in my face, I'd like a shower.
Yes, this is nasty. Because as I recall, we rematerialized bathed in blood.
Yeah, because if we
Not
don't
great.
clean that up from every crevices, we're gonna smell like
Someone's going to
like
notice.
black sausage before long.
Right. So
That's
the same
nasty.
hotel or a new hotel?
Ho Fang might have someone watching the hotel we had been staying in.
It's like a huge Chinatown.
The one you destroyed or the other one?
Yes, a very huge one. uh
Was it here you got attacked by some kind of giant thing that destroyed the hotel where you were?
Yes.
So not that one.
oh.
I thought you said that he thought you were dead after that accident because you skedaddled after that.
Would you take chances?
I wouldn't go to any hotel where you've been before.
That is wisdom.
Habits makes us vulnerable.
And you have habits of reading books. Just saying.
Makes us vulnerable.
So let's go find a hotel then.
Yep. Let's go.
We can try to find Roger. As far as I recall, he's still alive.
Roger is in Hong Kong, not Shanghai.
Oh,
Was he the one in the mental hospital?
Yes.
Yeah. From the notes I read about him, he was not that helpful, though. Tried to stab you, if I remember well.
You tried to break my skull. I mean,
Yep. Yep.
We've all
That's
forgiven.
Is it?
why I keep my hand behind my back and my gun in your pocket.
if we all survive this, I consider it forgiven.
Well, I'll do my darnest to keep you alive.
That's great. We still need to find a place where we can clean up.
We're the few
And-
part of the world where I don't speak any language.
So yeah, so there's. Are you guys looking specifically for a hotel, or are you looking for something a little bit more on the down low?
I mean, if we can find a creative way to be discreet, I'm not against.
But with some amenities, that would be nice, though.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I mean,
we need somewhere where we can wash.
there's a bunch of places we could rent that are not exactly hotel, but that would be a house.
Yep, there are a number of guest houses, basically kind of like a bed and breakfast sort of deal.
Yep. Been to a
Uh,
few Chinese guest houses. That works well.
And whoever has the lowest luck can give me a luck roll.
Oh crap!
Is it me
We're
now?
still on development, Chris.
Yep, we're still in development.
There we go.
I've been
57.
the
My luck
lowest
is
luck forever.
67.
So 34 now.
38.
You're up to 34. That's better than 2.
Yes, that's true.
38 is the highest I've been in 6 months.
Something's wrong with my character sheet, Chris.
Looks fine on my end. You got a luck of 32.
So that's gonna be me.
So Gary can give me a luck roll.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Saying I can't. Something's wrong on my hand.
Try closing your character sheet and reopening it.
Have you tried turning off and on again?
That's right.
It's not working. Sorry.
It works with my brain when I go to bed.
Try hitting F5 to refresh Foundry because I've got development and everything turned off. So. In the meantime, though, I can roll for you.
Please.
Ah, 45. Good to know.
Not quite, but
So you guys find a place called the Jinjiang Guest House, which is on Black Slipper Lane. Not terribly far from where the Stumbling Tiger Bar is, which is a place you've been to frequently. The old Irishman Fergus runs it. You've dealt with him before. Not terribly far from that area. So it is kind of a rougher area of town and something where you're less likely to be noticed than if you check into like a big hotel or something.
What's it called again?
It's called the Jinjiang, Jinjiang guest house. And yeah, there are rooms. The rooms share a bath, but there is a tub, there is a shower, there's all of the amenities.
I almost feel like everything's normal.
I'll order us some coffee. It should help normality.
Every
Inquire, try to figure out if we can find a translator.
Yep.
I mean, you guys were not here with us last time, so if we lay low and you guys do a lot of the talking and interaction, maybe
Hopefully
we
they
won't
won't
be
notice.
noticed. Yeah.
Exactly.
Where do tourists usually appear? We can go to that place, and people willing to sell their service should be there.
A,
The port.
a lot of the hotels have them if we're at a fairly affluent place.
I think we found ours at the
Feels like the kind of place who would have like people interceding in your favor, so you're not a rude stranger.
But I mean, just point me the direction and I'm going to be charming.
Well, I think we out to look a bit like foreigner for a little while. So we find somebody whose job is to translate for foreigner.
Yeah, I mean, the docks are a good place to pick it up, or any of the more affluent hotels usually have services. They're usually provided by university students. So people who are fairly young, usually like, in their early 20s. So you do find, after you get cleaned up and everything and start going looking, you can easily find a translator. I believe they're called Compradors. But yeah, they are people who will basically translate for you, but they will also do business interactions on your behalf. Find
That's nice.
a young student named Dujan. DU space JIAN.
I was not there last time, but is it the same guy as last time?
It is not the same guy as
Nope.
last time.
You traumatize him good enough.
Probably. I don't think we got him killed. Pretty sure we didn't.
But we have to check with the movements, the student movement. He might be knowledgeable about it.
Oh, how are the riots and such?
They are ongoing, but
Oh dear.
not nearly to the same extent they were before. Everything has kind of died down to a little bit of a simmer.
How long ago were you here?
A few months.
Like 4 or 5?
Yeah, about that.
I'm gonna ask for the highlight of those past months while you were not here. See what important change might have happened.
Basically, police crackdowns on student rebellions, reports of police brutality, like everything. It got to the point where everything is just kind of like simmered down a little bit. But
Feels like home.
But it's still there just under the surface.
There was no attack by the Free China movement.
Nothing in the
I'm not
papers.
sure. Yeah, that's why I'm asking you.
No. There was about 5-ish months ago, there was a huge fire at Ho Fang's Imports and Exports. That was the talk of the town for a while.
That was us, right?
That was totally you guys.
Did Ofang change his interaction with the city after that? Like, did he
Nope.
make it harder on the city?
Not overtly.
Okay.
He's very busy playing the we'll rebuild, and people will have their jobs, like doing the standard businessman thing.
Yeah, I get that.
God, it's been almost a year since we've been here. Out of game.
He was the head of the cult. That
Hofang,
guy?
yes. Hofang is the high priest of the cult of the bloated woman.
Do you have any angle that we could approach to get information about the cult in town, or what they've been doing on the island? Or if we can get in contact back with your two friends, the Japanese guy and the militia guy?
I don't even know if they're still alive.
Well, that's going to be a good start.
That's what I assume with everybody you've
Start
interacted with.
far. Fergus would know.
Fergus?
I think that was his name.
Was that
I
the
might be thinking of
barman
someone else.
guy?
We used to meet with Captain Taro. And we need to get to Grey Dragon Island, which is where we thought Penhew was going to sacrifice people.
So what would be the first order of business?
Translator. Then we need to figure out a boat. And if I remember correctly, the place that
Before
we're
the boat,
going,
we need to know what we're gonna find there.
we don't know what we're going to find there.
Yeah,
The
that's
boat,
the point. We need to know.
well, it's hard to know without going. The last time we checked, the place was a mysterious island that no one goes to and that is incredibly hard to access. If I remember correctly, it's very hard to get there by boat.
Yeah, but there's from what you told me, there's a fuck ton of cultists over there.
Yes.
So we might want to talk with our ally there to get a bit of help on that.
There's no ally who's been.
The Japanese guy and the Chinese guy?
They weren't involved.
Oh shit, okay.
Captain Taro was the Japanese man, and he was. And Evelyn will flip through her journal as the player is doing, because these were things that happened last June. They were opposing the new China group. Or they were part of it. Let me go through my notes. Grey Dragon Island, it's a dormant volcano. It doesn't belong to any country. Ho Fang was the one who owns the warehouse that we burned down.
Aren't the rebel planning on attacking that island? Maybe we should check if they did, and if they're all dead, or if they had any success, or if they're still not moving.
Not that I recall.
Yes. When you guys left, they were in the process of training for an assault on the island because they believed that there were rogue elements of the Chinese government involved there. Jack Brady was in the process of training them, and then Jack went off to rescue his girlfriend, and nobody has heard or seen him since. He had asked you guys, like, hey, you want to go help me rescue my girlfriend? You're like, we got things to do. Go ahead.
It just amuses me that out of game, it's been like a year since we've been here.
Yeah.
Ah.
So
Levi
how do we
Chang.
get in contact with Mr. Tauro?
Well, we used to meet with him at the Stumbling Tiger.
And
That's
where
the
is the
bar.
stumbling tiger?
It's a lovely little bar.
I'm thirsty.
So we'll go there. I'm sure you are. We'll go there and we'll see if we can find anyone that we know or get an update. Ferguson, that was his name. The man who owned the bar. So we'll see if he knows anything. He was still alive when we left, so hopefully that continued.
Chris, last time we had to negotiate with a lot with our interpreter because our requests were of a bizarre nature. How is our interpreter dealing with our requests right now? We're just looking for people. There's nothing untowards or anything like that, right?
Yep, no, he's basically the main reason you need an interpreter is a lot of the traditional people just won't deal with foreigners. So, like, even if it's like, I need to buy a coffee, your student is the one that negotiates that transaction for you. So, he's basically doing what he's told.
Can't really blame them. I mean, we do tend to bring trouble with us.
Yes. The gig,
We bring freedom.
the gig economy
Oh,
back in
Thank you,
1925.
Liberty Prime.
So not what we bring. We bring death and disaster.
I can't believe that I'm saying that seriously, though.
So let's find. Well, let's have him lead us to the bar from here, because I certainly. Dr. Carter might have a map in his notes. I might have one somewhere at the bottom of my trunk. But I imagine the student will take us there faster.
It's not hard to find the stumbling target. You guys have been there before.
You stumble on it.
Yeah. By the time everybody gets cleaned up and fresh clothes and all of that stuff, it is getting on towards supper time. The Stumbling Tiger, it's in the bar district. There's like bars and gambling dens and flower girl houses, fairly convenient to the docks. There's both English and Chinese symbols that show an image of a drunken tiger tripping over a rock. The inside.
That's an awesome insignia, by the way.
Yeah. The inside, it is a single room bar with a separate toilet, not toilets, toilet. There's only one bathroom. It is dirty. It's grungy. There's these green and purple posters of different Chinese film stars decorating the walls. The light is highly inadequate. It smells like every legion you've ever been into in your life. Several people inside, many of whom appear to be quite drunk already. And behind the bar, kind of cleaning a glass, is Fergus, the owner proprietor, a big kind of barrel-chested Irishman.
I'll slide into an empty stool at the bar.
I called for a round of drinks first.
Right. That kind of perks everybody's interest.
I was about to ask how do we approach this, but direct or not, but
with money.
I mean, it works.
So what can we get for you?
Did you miss us?
Can't say as I did.
So harsh. And I'll look around the bar. Has Captain Taro been back?
I haven't seen him for probably a couple weeks now. Comes by periodically just to check in.
Have you seen Jack?
I haven't seen him since I sent you guys to find him.
No sign of his girlfriend either, I take it.
No.
Hopefully they got away.
No. Hopefully. But not really any of my concern anymore.
I suppose.
So, what brings you by this time? Or are you just here to drink?
Chris, just a quick question. I know I haven't said it, but Alvin is incredibly paranoid. We're back in Shanghai.
Yep.
We haven't been followed or anything like that, have we?
Make a spot hidden roll.
Three stars.
You do not. You didn't notice anybody following you, but you do notice that there are one or two drunken people here in the bar that are definitely keeping eyes on your group.
Okay.
So Fergus pours your drinks and goes back to cleaning his glass.
That does not seem like an amicable reaction.
Well, I mean, we did cause quite a bit of chaos before we left.
Do you think he could help us contact anyone that could be of help?
He could probably help us contact Captain Taro. Whether Captain Taro wants to be of help or not, though, is another matter entirely.
We're gonna meet him to ask. I mean, we gotta meet the guy before we ask him.
Have we any way of knowing if they did or did not do the attack on Grey Dragon Island yet?
He'd be the one to ask. I imagine if anyone knows, he would.
And if that attack did not happen, do we have any way of contacting those people?
I'm rereading my notes to see if I have anything useful in there. We spend most of our time here avoiding people.
Sounds fair.
Is there a Japanese embassy, a Japanese district? Is he here on official business?
There is no Japanese embassy because tensions between China and Japan at this point in time are extremely tense. And he is a member of the Japanese Imperial Navy.
So he's not welcome.
He's undercover.
He's
Very undercover.
He's undercover.
That was one of his concerns, that once was he acted, all of his soldiers that were also undercover would be outed. And so it was, once he acted against Ho Fang, those people needed to get gotten rid of. Like, he'd have to lose a portion of his command.
Exactly.
Did he act against Ofang?
We did with him. Didn't we, Chris? We tried to organize an attack.
You guys attacked Ho Fang's warehouse, but Tara was not involved in that.
No,
No, we gave Taro Jack.
Yep,
Taro helped Jack attack Ofang.
exactly.
That's it.
That's what we tried to organize last time.
Yep.
I mean, I was not there, so I'm gonna follow your lead, guys. But
There was Lin Yan Yu. She was a collector, but I think she was also a local cult leader. Just not a follower of the bloated woman.
Yes, she had asked you to recover or bring back to her the scroll, the 7 critical books of Hassan.
Yep.
Which you guys distinctly did not do.
We left. We left Shanghai to avoid her,
We
right?
did leave Shanghai.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we could try reaching out to her.
No. Unless we have to.
so basically, we need an army, boats, and spies in the air.
It would be nice.
Did this barman help you get in contact with the Free China group?
He helped us get in touch with Jack and with Captain Taro. We kind of fell in with Captain Taro.
Okay, let's try not to get too lost in what we have to do. We need to scout out the Dragon Island and then come back with an army. And I would have suggested scouting through word of mouth. Well, my understanding is that no one goes there. So we're going to have to do the scouting ourselves and then either act or come back with an army.
Well, that's why I'm trying to push the fact that some people were supposed to go that might have scouted there or might have gone and came back.
No one has gone, unfortunately, as far as I'm aware. Last time we came, it was like a myth.
There's a whole militia people that were supposed to attack this place.
No, they were attacking his palace, not the island itself.
Yeah, but they were, when you left, they said that they were training their people to go attack there. It's been a few months. They might have.
Yep. The big problem is the guy that was training them went to rescue his girlfriend and hasn't been seen since.
Yeah, Jack and his girlfriend kind of dropped off the face of the earth. Maybe literally.
They ran
don't
away. Didn't we help them run away?
Theoretically, we hope they ran away.
Everybody has their fingers
The building
crossed.
exploded. We
Jack
don't know if they got out.
Jack attacked with Taro's guy, and we never got any other information. We spoke with the Chinese people afterward. They told us they would prepare their people to attack, and it could take us a few months and come back later. But I'm not sure they left us any way to contact them.
I don't know. Was not there. I'm gonna order another drink.
Let's
Okay.
let's leave our location with Ferguson. Tell him to give it to Captain Taro if he comes back. When he comes back. Hopefully Taro will get in touch with us. Other than that, we can make our plans at the guest house if we want. I mean, we're going to have to find new people. I don't know if Musane. We could try to get in touch with him again. He was the translator. The old man.
Wasn't he supposed to skip town as soon as you left?
Honestly, things were sort of strange then.
I mean, I'm just working from notes here, so
No, I had encounters with some things that make everything sort of confusing. That's why I keep notes. The some of the things I've spoken with have been
mind racking.
difficult. A bit, yes. Sometimes I think my notes are the only things that keep me sane. Ish.
I'm working from some other man's notes, so sometimes it's a bit confusing. And sometimes he feels like he was going insane.
Well, to be fair, we all sort of have been.
Yeah.
Tips of the trade.
So there's people that might know something, but we have no way of contacting them. There is no boat that naturally goes there. If we find a boat to go there, we need to be discreet, but we have no idea where to go on the whole of the island.
There's
And
also
what-
Anthony.
Is it a big island?
It used to be a volcano at one point. There's also Anthony Chang. He was a newspaper editor, and he speaks English. If he's still alive, we might be able to find out some things from him. Yeah, we burned a lot of bridges here.
And the hotels.
We'll burn
And
that bridge when we
hotels.
get to it.
I don't think we burned any bridges. We did burn a warehouse and a regular house. And I think something else, but it may have been burning when we got there or before we got there.
I swear, officer, the building was already on fire when I got there.
Yeah. As far as the size of the island, it's about 1.5 miles, like east-west. And just shy of 3 miles north-south.
So it's not like we're gonna have to build an expedition to look at shit in here.
It's a fairly small island, and the majority of it is taken up by a volcano.
So there, Eugene, at least we won't have to search too much.
Yeah. Well, can get on the business of trying to find a boat. Just really don't like going there with people prepared and us knowing jack shit about it.
We probably know more about what's going on there than they do.
Yeah, but they have the lay of the land.
Nobody goes there.
My
Well,
worry
I'm
is
sure his
that
cult
there's,
does.
considering that it's hard to reach at, I don't know how many places there are to dock. If there's only a few, they might be guarded. So we might be walking right into them, but we'll make that call once we decide to dock or not.
Can try to find a boat and just go around the island. Try to get information. If I could speak with people here, I would search for the people who have information, but I don't. Pretty hard to find people and be discreet while you are a dirty foreigner.
So do we go to that journal guy?
The newspaper editor?
Same difference.
I think he would be our best bet to get caught up on any relevant sort of news.
So it's the first order of business then.
We're more likely to find him before we find Captain Taro.
All right. So by the time you go to the Stumbling Tiger and everything, it is well past closing time at the Shanghai Courier.
Oh yeah, it's a tomorrow thing.
Is that the name of the paper?
Yes, the Shanghai Courier. And they also will not be open on Sunday. So you'll need to wait till Monday morning.
Chris,
Yep.
or excuse me, Alvin's going to recommend to lay low. He doesn't think that we've tripped anyone. We're waiting for information. The less we are noticeable, the more we'll be able to pass. And if we need to do something, which I'm not sure we need to do before we go see the newspaper editor, it should be our counterparts who have never been here before.
Yes. Or the translator.
Or the
Either
translator.
one.
Should I try? Do you think it's a bad idea to speak to the bartender about the people of Free China?
I mean, I'm not sure how much he'd know.
No, but if he happens to see someone or someone pass by, I think he's our best bet. He speaks the language. I don't see any other approach where we manage to speak with them. Or do you think asking him is putting too much of a flag on us?
Well, that's why we wanted to talk to Captain Taro.
Okay.
I mean, anything he knows is likely coming through Taro anyway. If he knows anything.
I thought Taro and Free China were two vastly different and opposing forces.
Yes, but keeping an eye on your enemy is kind of the point.
Oh, that kind of guy.
Right.
Okay, well,
When we met him the first time, he was pretending to be drunk. So, he was as, what was it you called it, Alvin? Undercover?
Yes.
Well, in that case, it might be enough for tonight. Let's just go lay low.
All right. So you guys are heading back to your rooms.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We burned a lot of bridges and killed a lot of people here.
It's not so much that you killed a lot of people; you
low.
compromised a lot of people.
Yeah, we were involved in what may be a lot of people's deaths.
We did not make a lot of friends. We, in fact, lost friends.
No. Yeah, we did. We absolutely did.
Seems to be a constant.
All right. So are you guys just like laying low till Monday morning when the courier office is open, or?
Except if General Taro is getting back to us. General, Captain,
Captain.
Captain.
Major.
Right. So yeah, Sunday nobody gets in touch with you at all. You guys just spend the day hanging out. You know, periodically checking out to see whether your guest house is being watched. Whoever is keeping a watch on things can give me a spot hidden.
I think we will all try.
Just periodically through the day, just kind of do the little move the curtain aside to peek out onto the street.
We're all feeling paranoid.
Well, if isn't paranoia himself.
Miles is feeling particularly paranoid.
And as is Gary.
No one is more paranoid than Alvin.
Oh.
I'm just.
Yup.
Well,
I
I
was
mean,
just
yeah,
gonna-
that's true.
Paranoia's name is Alvin.
Alvin says, it's weird. I know I've been here before, but it feels like I've never been here.
I don't see jack shit.
Nope. But Evelyn,
I think Alvin's the only one we're waiting on a roll for.
Oh, we are too.
Oh, shoot. I didn't. Sorry.
Oh,
Because that other one was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I had it open. I just
Oh!
didn't open it. Whoa! Don't worth the wait.
Miles called it. Miles said nobody's more paranoid than Alvin, and Alvin was eager to top it off.
The two of them rolled a 1. Holy crap. Nervous? Yes.
I
just a bit.
could have skipped this roll. Miles had already rolled the 1. We could have had one somewhere else. Anyway.
So Evelyn takes a look and like you see some people on the streets and they're kind of like, Gary, does this look like they're, have they been standing there too long? Gary's like, yeah, I think so. And then Miles and Alvin are both like, those two and those two down the street are definitely watching the place.
I'm gonna try to learn Mahjong since I'm here.
So yes, your guest house is definitely being watched by 4 individuals. 2 kind of across the street and then 2 further down the street.
Do they look like kids, street urchins, or like grown-ass people?
They look like grown-ass people.
Do we recognize any of them?
I was going to ask ethnicity.
Chinese.
Yeah, we're probably the only Westerners, like within us and Ferguson are probably the only Westerners for ages until we get to like Penhu, and he's an asshole.
Yeah, do any of these people look like people we saw previously last time we were here?
No, but since both of you, both Miles and Alvin, you catch the glint of metal, kind of like underneath their jackets, and at first you're like, are they guns? And it's like, no, the way that it's sitting, they definitely have bladed weapons of some nature underneath their jackets. Doesn't look big enough to be a knife. Sorry, it doesn't look properly shaped enough to be a knife.
Could it possibly be those wavy daggers?
That is entirely likely.
So they're cultists. Is that it?
What are the two of you looking at?
Those wavy daggers thingy.
We're being
Oh.
we're being watched by at least two pairs of people. Two of them directly across the street, two of them down the street. And they appear to have what I'm going to surmise are those wavy daggers that we've seen elsewhere.
Oh. I'd noticed them. I didn't notice the daggers.
So we should move?
I mean, they'll just
We've
find us
already been
again.
spotted,
Stand
so
out.
odds are we've already been spotted, so odds are we're already compromised.
Yeah,
So
we're not
just-
gonna lose them. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
So at this point, we need to figure out our reinforcements and get on with the task at hand.
I mean, Shanghai's pretty big. If we make a decisive move to get out of it anywhere, and we have stuff waiting for us, for example, a boat, we could leave them behind. Wouldn't be the first time we lose them in rickshaws in Shanghai.
Could we buy a boat with enough cabins for us to live on it? We don't have to be in Shanghai.
The problem with this is we've been here how many hours, and we've already been spotted. Whether it's
Absolutely.
whether it's because we look like foreigners or because they know it's us. I'm guessing it's they know it's us. So getting our ducks in a row and getting out of here and getting to the task at hand is probably the prudent action.
Different daggers that people here were carrying. Evelyn's flipping through her notes again.
Can make a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
For flipping through her notes?
Well, to know things about different Mythos cults.
Oh, I'm going. Anita, player, was going through her notes. Because I know I wrote something down about the dagger. Because I noticed it like 15 minutes ago. There was something about lion-headed daggers, I think.
Yes, the African cult had lion-headed daggers.
Oh, this wasn't in the Africa section.
Yeah. But yes, one of the cults had daggers. One of the cults had bat teeth-studded clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a
There's
collection
something
of weapons from different cults.
But yes, the different branches, the different cults have different ceremonial weapons.
Hmm.
And Miles has a harpoon.
Miles does have a deep one harpoon. Trident, actually.
How did you pass the custom with that? We used the portal.
Yep. Right. So yes, now that you guys know for a fact that you are being watched, what would you like to do?
Lin Yen Yu's guards had daggers with ornate lions' heads.
There you go.
Can you tell?
If it's bloated lady dagger or if it's
Well,
Lin
no,
Yanyu-
if it has... Yeah,
Which-
if they have the lion heads on them. I don't know if you can see them from here.
To be honest, they've pointed the guy out, and I still don't know which one it is. So
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe one of them does.
I'll give Alvin and Miles. Each of you can make a luck roll just to see if you saw enough to be able to identify the weapon beyond just a bladed melee weapon.
It is a bladed melee weapon.
Miles didn't get a really good view, but Alvin, they looked more like there's like a curve to them. They looked more like sickles.
Sickles. No one we've run into have had blades like that curved. Machetes, yes.
Not,
Daggers,
not that I
yes.
recall. No. Well, this is weird.
But they are
And
definitely not lion-headed daggers.
it's just another group of crazy people.
Well,
It might be to blow the woman. I don't think we saw much of their cult.
Chris, is there a back door or an alternate exit if we wanted to try to slip away unseen?
There's not an official back door, but there is a door like kind of through the like downstairs through the kitchen out the back to where they like throw out the garbage and stuff. The fact that it's not an official exit probably means it's far less likely to be watched, and it does open up onto kind of the like fenced in yard, so there's some cover from the streets and stuff.
So we're gonna go and try to lose them and spot another base of operation.
The only option I see is that or leave town and hide somewhere outside of Shanghai. But we're gonna stand out even more outside.
I mean, there's a small section of the city where Westerners tend to be. We might blend in better there. I mean, we would undoubtedly blend in better there, but it's farther from the people we're trying to contact.
Hmm.
There was a hotel we stayed at very briefly called the Astor House Hotel, but we had some book issues, we'll say, there, and left in a bit of a hurry. It was just before we met you, Miles. Because we met you over lunch at the Stumbling Tiger, actually. Huh. Time flies.
Chris,
Yep.
they're just watching the hotel, right?
Yes, the two of them out front across the street, two of them further down the road.
Okay. Well, we can stay here another day before we have to do anything.
Uh, do we want to try to move and to see if they follow us? Be there, thugs just trying for an easy marks.
I mean, maybe, but that's not generally how our luck has gone. I don't think anyone ordinary has ever tried to mug us.
That would be a nice change of pace.
Would be a terrible way to go down after all this bullshit.
It would be a bit
Underwhelming.
embarrassing. Underwhelming. Very underwhelming.
You almost
Yes.
sounded southern. What's it? With all that bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that from. Well, the guy who taught me English was British, so no, that doesn't help.
I think now that Miles and Alvin have a good look at them, and I mean, well, except Eugene, we've all seen them. I think we're fine for the night.
I'm
We know
gonna
they're there.
still. We might get uh, guard turns just to be sure that they still watching us.
Oh, absolutely. We should definitely set up our own little watch
Yeah,
to
because
watch them watch us.
I
I'd
can try.
rather see her than having those sickles around my whatever
Mm.
parts.
We can try to see
Hmm.
their habit and try to slip off when we get an opening.
Chris, is our translator with us right now?
I'm assuming you guys didn't bring him up into your room.
Okay.
That would not be proper.
He basically hangs out in the foyer, until like his done his shift. In which case he's like, I will be back tomorrow.
It'd be funny if the translator was one of the people watching her. Just stands out
Oh
there with a
dear.
cigarette, talking to them periodically. Oh crap! They spotted.
All right, so you guys are just kind of keeping an eye on them and hanging out.
I think we're just laying low today.
Yeah, we're like eating and
Laying low and reading through notes.
Trying to lure them into complacence.
All right. So during Sunday, a couple of times you guys do notice, since you're deliberately keeping an eye on them, that they have like a shift change. Like, after a couple hours, you guys take a peek out and it's like, wait, those are different folks. Still in the same position, still kind of milling about, keeping an eye on things, but definitely different people.
Still two
Is it
pairs.
more military organized or more underground? It's your shift kind of deal.
It's definitely organized. And sorry, what was that, Mark?
Still two pairs of two.
Still two pairs of two.
and around what time are they changing?
Seems to be after like a couple of hours, like no more than 2 hours. Like they seem to change the guards often enough that, like, it's not like, oh, I've been on shift for like 6 hours and my attention's starting to waver. They change shift regularly. And during the course of the day, none of the guards repeat. So, like, over the course of the day, there's probably, a dozen, actually, probably closer to 2 dozen different individuals that kind of cycle through this position.
Sorry, I'm not sure if Alvin asked this or not, but do these people look professional? Like maybe they're, Navy or some shit, or like these guys, or do these guys very much look rough and tumble locals?
Definitely more rough and tumble. Shaggy
I just
hair.
realized the captain's also Japanese, so
Yeah. And generally speaking, I mean, your experience with the various cults is that they tend to recruit. Cults tend to recruit from the underserved. So from the homeless and other people who have fallen through the cracks tend to be easy prey for cults. So they definitely don't look professional, but they do look organized.
Street smart, but not military trained.
Right.
Chris, is it like clockwork? Or is it just like randomly a few hours later?
Randomly a few hours later.
So there's no way we could try to time it. So tomorrow when we need to leave, we can leave during a shift change.
Yeah, I was asking for that.
Well, during a shift change, there's twice as many people.
They're also swapping and talking or
Yeah, hanging out like, hey, am I going to see you this weekend? Oh, I hope so. I just got to, getting ready to take the boat out. Hoping to catch some fish. Like they make some small talk. They make some small talk as they change shifts.
right. So if we time it properly, we could do that, but there's no way to figure out what that timing is because the timing isn't consistent. Is what I understand? It's not like every 3 hours.
Right.
Or maybe we could hire somebody to do like street urchins or something to do a diversion. Hello, guys. You hearing me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Everybody's
mean to insult anybody with that idea.
everybody is pondering. But yeah, Sunday comes and goes. They keep a watch on. You get up Monday morning. Whoever's on like shift checks, they're still there. Whoever gets up Monday morning to check first at like crack of dawn, they're still there. They haven't made a move or anything, but they're definitely watching.
So, do we risk leading them to your newspaper guy?
I'd rather not.
Story of that old ordeal, but I mean,
I'd rather not. Hmm.
Who needs to talk to him? Just you?
I mean, any of us could. We just need to find out
It's easier to
what's
sneak
been going
out
on.
2 people than 5.
Oh, yes, undoubtedly.
So if you and I sneak out, I can try to lose them in the crowd before we go to meet your contact. They might think we're still here because the rest of us will look busy in the windows and whatever, so it looks like we're still here.
You and me slipping out?
Well, you're the one who wants to talk to him, right? You're the
Well, I
contact.
think he's probably our best bet at getting an update on what's been happening. And he's, I think, more likely to know who's who until we can get in touch with Captain Taro. If we can get in touch with Captain Taro.
Have you ever spoke to him before?
We have.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
We got along fine as far as I recall.
Okay, because we could have sent Gary speak with him. He's good with speaking with people if you just have a question. But if you want to play on your previous relationship with him, depends.
Captain Taro introduced us to him. He speaks English. He only has a slight accent. Um, that was really it. I mean, we knew where he worked, but we didn't spend much time with him, which is why we haven't burned that particular bridge or accidentally gotten him in danger or deceased.
So the question is, do you think a prior relationship is going to help more, or being suave?
I think the fact that we've met him will help.
Mhm.
in which case I can just stay here and look busy.
You can do that too.
Try to ruffle as many curtains as possible.
Between
Make
the
it
two
look
of
like
us,
more people are home than there are.
between the two of us, pretty sure we can make it so that it looks like we're 3, 4, 5.
I
Hmm.
can even try to go and talk to them.
Oh, don't do that, please.
You did that once.
Please don't. Please don't do that. I like you, Gary. I don't particularly want to see what those curved blades do to a person. And if I have to see it, I would really prefer it not be you or any of us, quite frankly. But please don't.
I won't.
Thank you. It was nerve-wracking enough the last time you were in a hospital.
So are we trying to get to the editor, just the two of us, or not?
Um,
Out of character, I'm saying that I could probably between two, like, it's a stealth check, I understand, to break out of stuff. I don't know how many people I can cover with my stealth, and I don't know if we are a better set to be less or more.
Sorry, why do we want to go to this editor?
I don't.
because to try to get caught up on what's been happening locally and try to form some more contacts, because right now we know nobody. We know Captain Taro, but we don't know when he's going to go back to the bar. And we don't have any other way of contacting him except through the bar. And we know the bartender. We could try to go see the old man who did the translating for us, which was Moussain. Moussain? Sign? We could try getting in touch with the female cult leader, but that seems like a dangerous idea. And that's who we know. I mean, we could try to get in touch with our old translator and see if he's still sane. Other than that, everyone we met here is either dead, missing, or in oh no, I think we broke her out of the special care home. Hmm. That might be it. Or we could just go straight to Penhu, but that seems like a very bad idea. That's why I proposed speaking with Anthony. We need somewhere to start to try to gather help.
Yeah, because we're gonna need a few more hands if you want to do the ritual without killing
Exactly.
each other.
Yes. I'm trying very hard to stay alive, although it doesn't seem like it sometimes, I'm sure. Um, but I would very much like to get back to the United States. And hopefully you all want to live as well. The silence is a little disturbing.
I'm trying to do my best to stay alive.
You really started to worry me there for a moment. I was like, why
No,
are you all
no.
being quiet when I ask if you want to live? That's not reassuring at all.
I'm gonna be honest. I want to leave more than I want to live. But if I leave now, it's gonna be bad for everyone. So I'm gonna live
Hmm.
till I'm able to leave.
Right. I mean, I want to live to go back to the United States. You want to live to go to the Dreamlands?
That's probably my best bet after all this bullshit and all the the bridge we've burned.
I mean, I suppose.
It's just there's a few people I care
Depends on
about
what sort
that
of.
are gone insane. It seems to be the only place where they're gonna be fine. All this costs lots of people their sanity. It's the only exit I see for them.
I can certainly see the appeal of taking Luther there, for instance, so his arm can be healed.
Yeah.
Um,
I have a few people in mind. Just that it's the only place where they're gonna be fine.
but that
But
means living through here.
yeah, because if I leave now and everything goes to shit, well, that place is not gonna be long for this word either. So
No.
if we want to
But I
have
mean,
a
if
chance of curing anyone, we gotta save the world first.
anyone else has an idea of who we should reach out to or where we should go, by all means, speak up.
I'm trying to find any way, any plans to speak with the people who were planning on attacking the island. It's the only people I think we could rile up into helping us or doing the ritual. But I have no clue. Like, there are people that by design want to stay hidden. Like, they don't want to be caught by the government, so they don't want to be caught by me. But that's the only people I see that would help us with the ritual. And that would go willingly on the island.
Yeah, I don't know. Um,
The general we saw in Africa, he was part of a group. Do you think they have any member around here?
Probably not.
They do. The captain there specifically told you about
Oh.
Captain Taro.
Oh, okay. I mean, Captain Taro is literally the only person in a military that we've met up with.
So maybe we should speak with him, not in his charge as member of the Japanese national, but as a man who want to protect reality.
Well, that's why we left word at the Stumbling Tiger. To let him know that we were here.
Yeah.
But that would mean just sitting and waiting for him to possibly come and see us.
I mean, we can go see the journalists, try to get a bit of info of what happened. Maybe we'll know if in secret the island was attacked or not. Like, if it was attacked and nobody came back, no sense in looking for those guys. I mean, I think it's worth it to ask him a few questions.
To my knowledge, Anthony doesn't know anything about the things that we're involved with.
So let's ask about current affairs and try to read between the lines.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Precisely.
But it seems like the only concrete thread that we can pull at the moment.
He's the only one I can think of. I don't know if Miles and Alvin have any other people they remember from here that might be useful. But they're the only ones in my contact notes.
With my luck, I'll probably just insult somebody important. So
Only clue I have was to ask the barman, hey, you know where we can find that tourist group? So might not be the best idea.
Alvin? Miles?
I don't know what we're hoping to get. We have a little bit of time that we've gained. I think we need to take a look at the island.
You think we should go to the island instead of trying to contact Anthony?
I don't know what we're going to get from contacting Anthony.
Just an
As
update
far
on
as I'm
local
aware,
affairs,
the local affairs are not going to give us more information about what's happening on that island, and we know that that's what we need to do.
Yeah,
We
but
need
they
to get,
sorry, go ahead.
and what's going to happen is we're going to take a look at it, and then we need to come back because there's nothing that will be able to act on the island. And only when we come back is it worthwhile to question Anthony or anyone else with a better perspective of what we've discovered, because otherwise we're not going to be asking the right questions.
I mean, okay.
I'm not in charge.
I just fear that if we go to the island, we're gonna get roped into stuff and shit that we're not prepared for. But
I mean, that'll happen everywhere.
if we go to the island, stay away from it, and look with binoculars or visor, whatever, and try to
Yes,
figure it out.
100%. You're 100% right, and that's what we intend to do. But the island isn't next anywhere. It's in the middle of the ocean. We have
Yeah.
to take a boat there.
Yeah,
We're going
I
to take a
agree.
look at it.
Just that if
And
we
we're-
get on the island, we're not coming back. So I don't want to get on the island. We need to go snoop it out, but getting on it sounds like a death wish. And we're not
mean-
even numerous enough to do the ritual anymore. So we need allies, but we can go check the island first to try to get more information if you think that's going to help.
So we're gonna ask our translator to deal us a boat for.
we haven't heard about Miles' opinion yet.
I agree with Alvin. Our priority is the island. I don't have anyone here to personally contact. We can get in touch with the captain of the Japanese Navy and see if he has anybody that can assist us. Then that is our current avenue, unless you want to go back to that drunken tiger place and try to recruit every Yahoo that we can. Otherwise, our priority should be learning as much as we can about that damn island.
Okay then.
Well, I'd rather we all stuck together than separate if the island is involved.
So we need
Uh,
to
we will go all. I don't want to separate the group neither.
All right, so you guys are gonna send your translator off to secure a boat for you.
Apparently so.
boats and binoculars.
Okay. Are you getting a boat and a crew, or just a boat?
I don't know how to.
Anybody know how to drive a boat?
It would fall under either pilot, boat, or navigate.
Let's
Boats
nope.
get driven? That's Alvin's question.
I think it piloted in some way.
I'm seasick.
Oh no.
I mean, remember the last time we took a boat together? Well, not the time I was in the hospital,
Oh.
but the other one.
Oh.
Apparently, hot air balloons are available as a mode of transit.
That seems like a hoot.
I know how to
That
drive. I know how to drive those, but it's just out of game.
that I'd love to say I'm surprised, but honestly, it's you. I'm not.
Can't drive a car, but I can drive a blimp.
Chris and I used to have a friend that would bike to his flight training because he couldn't drive.
Yep, yep. I
Getting
did
his
that.
pilot's license, but he couldn't drive a car.
There's plenty of other cars on the ground. There's much less planes around in the air.
Oh man. I mean, hot air balloon. Don't get me wrong. It's tempting, and it might be better for
I mean,
uh,
if it's a blimp,
Gary's stomach.
if it's a blimp, we can direct it. But if it's just a hot air balloon, we're at the mercy of the wind.
It's not a blimp.
Yeah, that's what I guess.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that I don't really want to be that far above the ground if something attacks us.
The
I don't
high-speed
want to
chase in
plummet.
a hot air balloon with the cultists gunning at us is terrifying.
All right.
And
Since Miles identified the island on your previous trip here to Shanghai, so Grey Dragon Island by diesel vessel is about a day and a half away from Shanghai. By sailing vessel, it's 3 or 4 days depending on the wind.
I think we should take a boat. As entertaining as I would find a hot air balloon, and as easy, hopefully easier on Gary's stomach that it might be, I think plummeting toward the ground is a terrifying idea, and I don't particularly want to be in the air.
Is there any village closer to the island than Shanghai?
No. Shanghai is on the coast.
Oh, I thought we had to
No.
take a train to get to where we would go for a boat.
Nope, Shanghai is a coastal city. I mean, you could take a train to another city and catch a boat from there, but it's not going to be any shorter.
We're probably gonna need to hire a crew. And that island might have a reputation, so it might be hard.
Right. So are you guys planning to leave like right away? Like how quickly do you want your translator to make arrangements?
I think we were on the idea of we need to do a reconnaissance mission. So we might as well do it in the quickest timeline.
Okay. You guys still have plenty of money left from Jackson's will, so he can make all of the arrangements for you. The boat is called the Gray Lady. It's basically like a small kind of merchant trawler type of thing. Got a crew of about like 15 people. They are not the sort of people who ask a lot of questions.
My favorites.
They basically they don't do a lot of interaction. They don't want to know anything other than where are we going and you're paying us, right?
Yep. You're able to shut that motor and light if we need to.
Sorry, what was that?
You're able to shut those light and that motor for half an hour if we need to.
Sure. You're paying us.
Yep. Just if we need to be discreet for a little bit.
So by like early afternoon, the boat is organized. It does cost a little bit. Like your funds from Jackson are starting to run not low, but you're no longer filthy stinking rich.
So we have to cut down on the caviar? Is that what you're saying?
You have to cut down on the caviar and the martinis.
We cannot
Martini.
buy.
No.
You cannot eat exclusively caviar anymore.
That's right.
Not the martinis. We can't cut our alcohol budget. It's the only thing keeping us sane sometimes.
But on the plus side, and this time lobster is actually considered like poor people food. So
Mm. At least it's tasty.
At the moment,
Ugh.
we get,
How,
the moment we
what are
get
you talking
bored-
about? You expect us to eat lobster like commoners? Ugh.
So by like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the boat is ready. It is a diesel vessel, so it's going to take you like a day and a half or so to get there. But you guys all stow your stuff, make yourselves as comfy as you can.
We're gonna try to give the slips to our people watching us to get to the boat. I assume
Sure, you can give me stealth rolls.
it was more a question to Alvin, but
I'm sorry, guys, if we have to do a stealth roll. I'm gonna try to be as.
I'm going to push
I
that.
only
What
have
is the downside
20,
of pushing that?
The
so-
downside to pushing it will be that you will not only be trailed but caught.
Oh no!
You rolled a 3. I don't need to push
I
it.
know. It was freaky. I
Hmm.
did not expect it.
So Evelyn can actually cover for 2 people and herself.
Oh dear.
Man, dude,
We're
we
all going.
suck.
I still need to make it, right?
Well, let's see what Miles rolls.
Sorry, what were we rolling? Stealth?
Stealth to
Yep.
kind of throw your tail off.
Oh, okay. I thought just one person was doing.
No. Oh, apparently Evelyn is the only one.
I don't feel like
Who-
draining all my luck.
I was gonna say, who can cover with luck?
I can
Nope.
save luck or I can push. I have 78%, 78 stealth.
Oh, I mean,
Well,
theoretically, you've got a
Push,
28%
and
chance.
we're just gonna fight if not.
Perfect. So that's enough
Yeah, I
to.
think
Well, that's better.
I'll just push. How do I
Well,
push?
just 1 sec here. So Evelyn covers herself and 2 others, and then Alvin covers himself and 1 other.
I got
That's all
2
of us.
stars. Oh, yeah, because
Yep. So
That's all of us.
yeah. So that covers everybody. Perfect. So yeah.
Yay.
Evelyn is surprisingly stealthy, and Alvin, you're like, I'm not going to be showed up. And between the two of you, you guys managed to keep your heads up. I imagine the scene Alvin's head peeks around the corner, Evelyn's head peeks around the corner, just slightly underneath his sort of thing, kind of checking the lay of the land, like go 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 go, and you guys get to your boat without being followed. It is it's not even a super junky boat. It actually looks fairly decent. Like it's not new, but it's well kept. I mean, it's still a diesel trawler, so there's a certain degree of grunge and dirt that goes along with it. But you don't get to the docks and go like, well, I don't know about this. Like you get to the docks, you're like, well, okay, this will do.
Seen worst.
Definitely have seen worse. The captain of the crew, they're men of very few words, and they don't speak any English. They understand some English, and they speak very little. But judging from the speed with which they get you guys on board and cast off their lines and everything, it seems like the crew that is used to a quick departure. They are probably not used to sticking around and answering a whole lot of questions at customs.
Nice.
Alvin, as a trained private investigator, these folks are definitely people who do not do legit merchant work.
they do not stay around to get inventory.
They do not.
I'm gonna check if they have daggers. The curvy kind.
Make a spot hidden roll.
Spot hidden.
Spot hidden. Don't see any signs of any weapons. I mean, the ship itself has like belaying pins and conventional shipboard weapons, like improvised weapons, gaff hooks and belay pins and all of that fun stuff. But they themselves are not armed.
I'm kind of used with to cold people, so I'm checking for tattoos and stuff like that. That could indicate.
So many
Membership.
tattoos.
Yeah. I assume, but none that like says all ale as a thought.
None of that nature, no.
Okay, good.
And you guys set out. I mean, it's not your first time on a boat. It's the first time on a boat this small in quite a while. But there's something relaxing about being at sea. You tell the captain where you're going. And, there's some, he says something to the crew. And the crew all get this look on their face. Like they've, there's the momentary, like, we're not sure if we're going to take you there. And then the captain barks some orders at them. And everybody gets about their work. Like, you guys are paying them, so you guys set the shots. Call the shots. Due to the timing, as you guys are basically at about the second day, or the next day, towards evening, you can see in the distance, you can see the slight glow of the volcano and the plume of smoke. Figure you should be there probably by morning, unless you want to slow down and approach it at night. Choice is yours.
Rather approach at night.
I think our best bet would be to get there at night, turn the lights off, check on the island, and see the rise the early morning. Early morning is a spot where people are less attentive, and we should see better with light. But you're the personal one at tailing people. I'm just going on instinct.
I
think-
trust Alvins.
I think at night, so we can hopefully the boat isn't seen. It gives us more options to figure out what we do then. Just, is the water choppy at all? Like, are we gonna like stand out here like a sore thumb?
The water's not super choppy. It's not completely still either. I mean, it's a normal, far from land water.
Okay. I suggest we go at night.
Sounds good.
That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
The first thing that we know now is that Alvin is a were owl, so we can see a lot in the darkness.
I can't see in the darkness, but it's a better bet so we can get the boat closer to the shore without being seen from far.
Yeah, I was trying to be funny. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Alvin is too paranoid to be funny.
I brought binoculars and carrots to help the night vision.
That carrots thing is not real yet, right? That happens after the set.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
propaganda has not happened yet, but I mean the Hobbit hasn't been written yet, so we still make out of time joke.
Right. So as you guys approach, and you've got more than enough binoculars, so everybody has their own set. You don't have to share binoculars, telescopes, whatever sort of distance viewing things you want. You have easy access to, and you can see that there's like a ring of smaller islands, uninhabited islands, barren, that kind of encapsulate Grey Dragon Island. So there's like a natural channel and almost like a really, really big lagoon that Grey Dragon Island sits in the middle of. So the avenues of approach are very limited. Careful analysis though shows that even though you have to pass through like a kind of a little like narrow strait, there are no watches or anything posted on the sides of the strait.
That's good, right?
Yeah, it appears
Yay,
like
map.
they don't have any any watchtowers posted on the singular entrance to the island.
Does that seem odd to you, Alvin?
I don't know what to expect. All I know is that it means that they might not know we're coming.
Arrogance, maybe?
I mean,
Hubris.
this place is out of the way. Secrecy is
That's
almost
true.
as important.
That's true.
And as you get closer to the island, you can see like there is the glow from the volcano itself. The volcano is definitely an active volcano. It's emanating this glow and this plume of smoke, and against the night sky, the plume of smoke moves in a way that is not in rhythm with the winds.
That seems bad.
And periodically, the plume of smoke seems to form like shapes against the night sky, blotting out the stars in places.
So evil is what you're telling us. The smoke is evil.
Probably just your imagination.
Right.
Evil.
Definitely evil. Oh boy. That
Chris,
Yes.
if we can see the smoke of the mountain, I'm assuming that's a volcano. I'm looking at the map here, right? That's
Yeah.
what we're looking at.
Yep.
Is there any other smoke, like encampments or anything else? My assumption is that they did not bring electricity with them, and they have to live with fire or stuff.
other sacrificial pits.
Everybody can give me a spot hidden roll.
Nope. Something about shoes.
It's sea shoes.
I got issues.
Miles. Miles is busy, or not Miles. Gary's busy being seasick.
Gary's like over the railing, and Miles is like, "That's okay. That's okay." So yeah, and I'm assuming you guys are doing kind of like a slow, letting the boat drift as much as you possibly can to keep it quiet as you kind of like circle around the island.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Something like that in mind.
Alvin and Eugene and Evelyn. Alvin and Eugene, you spot the volcano, obviously. Kind of like the main feature of the island. And there's a dock. And there are two boats currently docked there. One is a fairly large like shipping vessel called the Dark Mistress. Or sorry, the Ivory Wind. The other one is more like a private yacht called the Dark Mistress.
I'm sorry, where is it on the map? Okay, sorry. At the dock.
So I didn't
Yeah.
see which one.
Number 4.
Oh, number 4. Thank you.
Yep. You guys, those of you who are present, the Ivory Wind is the ship that sailed out of London just before you guys left there.
And the Dark Mistress's Penhue's boat.
And the Dark Mistress is Penhue's personal boat. Evelyn, you notice a little ways up the hill at location number 2, There's definitely multiple like campfires, and because you got an exceptional success amongst the in the firelight and everything, you can see like these little like stone and wooden houses. It looks like there's an actual village on this island.
Chris, that's against everything we know, right? It's an uninhabited island in the middle of nowhere.
Correct. But yes, there is an actual village there. As you kind of sail around to the north, Alvin and Eugene and Evelyn, at location number 1, you can spot silhouetted against the glow of the volcano what looks like a watchtower.
That's where the watchtower is. Chris, from this vantage point, since I'm assuming we're running relatively dark here, how does it make sense in my mind that the watchtower is at 1 when the dock is at 4? Is it that most of the mainland is closer to 1, and so if someone was coming straight, they should be able to see them, or is it just like they're looking for something else?
The watchtower overlooks the main entryway in. Like when you guys came through the little street.
Oh, okay, like the archer. Okay, I get it. Because it's kind of like there's a ring of around it. There's only one entry. So, okay, I get it.
Right, like if you look at the kind of
There we
smaller,
go.
if you look at a little smaller
Yep.
map, when you come in, the watchtower directly faces the only way in. So it's more to overlook the way in as opposed to overlook the island. And again,
So we're approaching an island inside a caldera.
well, the caldera is the inside of the volcano, but there's like the
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there might have been a bigger
Exactly.
volcano before
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Right. And that's like that outer ring.
Mm,
That's what that would have been at one point.
It's
And
entirely
then
possible.
this little bit is just the little active portion that's still. Oh dear. Okay.
Geologically, I am terrified.
Yeah, I believe the correct term for it is an atoll, but I'm not positive.
It's, yeah.
The island itself is primarily just like cinder and ash and sand. There's no trees.
That's not surprising.
And Evelyn, with your exceptional success, right here at location 3, just very briefly, because you guys are keeping some distance from the island, but very briefly, you see probably 5 or 6 humanoid-ish creatures whose heads kind of bob up to the surface and then they kind of like dolphin dive back down under. They're like very similar to the things that accosted you on the beach in Australia.
On the beach, fuck.
Oh, they had time to swim up to here.
I will absolutely point those out to everyone. That could be a problem. They could be a problem. You see them, right?
Yep.
Miles, you still have your trident?
I believe.
Just checking.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I will try to keep my wits about me a bit better than I did then.
So they're coming?
Are they approaching us?
No, you just saw them kind of like come up to the surface and then dive back down again.
It doesn't look like they're coming toward us.
Have
I'll
we
just-
seen
I don't-
enough?
I think we've seen enough of them.
I think we've seen as much as we will be able to from a distance. I'm gonna try to keep a look on the surface of the island, see if we can spot people moving about. Try to get an idea, but we could start moving away.
And I'm gonna try to look around the boat as much as I can for freebooters.
Chris,
Yes.
I'm 100% okay with leaving. Just on the way out, can we survey that ring? You said it's completely desolate and nothing, but is that really to the north really the only way in?
It
I
is.
do see other little gaps.
Yeah. The other gaps are not big enough to bring a boat through. Like maybe like a small, like, 4 or 5 person sailing vessel, but not anything bigger than that.
Could we, for example, be on the if you look on the bottom right, there's like some gaps there. Could we, for example, get a boat with like a sloop or whatever, and then put it to the water, and then row there, and then row to the island?
You could. It would take you some time. It would take you probably a couple hours to row under manpower from there to the island, but it's doable.
I mean, it looks like it's about 1.5 miles. I'm not saying it's nothing in open waters there, but it is doable.
It is doable, yeah. Right. There's no sign of any inhabitants on the island other than the
The village.
the village and the fires that Evelyn saw. Actually, Evelyn, give me a education roll.
These people are
Chris,
fully educated.
Sorry, what was that, Mark?
With binoculars, can we actually see people at all by the fire?
No. Like even when Evelyn points them out, there's no sign of people. But it's definitely like a permanent village. They're not tents or anything. It's a permanent village. Evelyn, guessing like looking at the number of houses, you're guessing probably space for 30 or so individuals. Like it's not a huge village. It's like, 5 or 6 little buildings and stuff.
Okay.
And,
Still way more than us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And whoever has the highest luck can give me a luck roll.
I have 67.
Damn.
No one is challenging that.
I got 38. And right now
Okay.
there is 3 copy of miles for me on the map.
I don't know why.
2 of everyone and 3 of miles.
Oh, so close. Two.
Can't spend luck on
Can
luck
you
here.
push a luck skill?
Nope. Because it's not a skill
Can't
roll, so
spend luck on it either.
You're the lucky or you're not.
Shit.
so yeah. How long do you guys spend? Like, I mean, obviously you're going to go all the way around the island, but it's not that big. It's like 2.5 miles by 1.5 miles sort of thing.
Is this map north? Like, is north north? Is north up on this map?
North is up on this map.
Okay. I mean, if we're on the eastern side, we're gonna get spotted soon.
Well, I'm assuming you guys are a distance away watching with binoculars.
Running dark.
Yes.
Running dark. So yeah. The risk of you being seen is present. You don't think it's a high risk. If you want to get closer to look at anything, that's a different story.
I'm content to stay at a distance, check the boats and the village, see if there's movement and people and shit.
Hey, Chris, am I getting the same sense of being watched like when we were in that underground city?
No, you're not. This is surprisingly calm and peaceful. Assuming you spend, some time getting eyes on the village just in case you do see anybody. After you've been watching the village for a while, you do see somebody like come out from one of the huts, kind of like, go over to do his business, go back in. Like there's definitely inhabitants, and apparently no indoor plumbing.
So I know what?
No indoor plumbing.
Indoor plumbing. But we haven't seen any movement or lights on the Grey Lady, or sorry, we haven't seen any on the Dark Mistress or the Ivory Wind.
No.
Chris, you explained the boats, but how big are they in relation to ours?
The Ivory Wind is a large cargo ship. And then the Dark Mistress is about your size, but it's a pleasure yacht as opposed to a smuggler vessel. So the Ivory Wind's probably about a good 200 feet long and like 40 feet wide. And
Sorry, that was the
Ivory Wind.
okay. And sorry, what were the dimensions? 200 by 400 or 40?
About 200 by 40. Like it is a large ocean-going cargo ship.
It's a shipping.
Yeah. The Dark Mistress is probably, like 40 feet by 15 feet sort of thing. It's much more of a yacht.
Yeah.
But there's no lights on either of the ships and no sign of movement on board either of the ships.
Do we want to try getting on the ships first and seeing if we can take anything they might find vital and then leave, much like we've done in, I think, every single city we've ever entered?
Just that right now, if we leave, they might never know we were here.
Yeah, this is exactly what some of us were afraid of.
Yeah. If we start going there, we might start trying to do things that we are not prepared to do and we don't have enough people to do.
Okay, so we want to go back to Shanghai, meet up with Anthony, see if we can get in touch with Taro, see if we can get some more people together.
Yeah.
For example, now we have the names of the cargo ships and the pleasure boat that we can investigate.
True. I know we saw that shipping vessel in London. I'm pretty certain it was the one carrying occulty things to Australia. And we stole some stuff from it.
To and from Australia, I think.
It was supposed, yes. We stole some things that were supposed to go onto it before they could.
Oh,
because that's apparently what we do quite often.
My bad. The Ivory Wind, I don't know the dimensions, but it is 7,000 ton displacement.
That sounds like a lot.
That's big.
It's a large cargo ship. And the Dark Mistress is 90 feet long.
I mean, it went from London to Shanghai, so it must not be a tiny ship to survive that.
Exactly. Yeah. We could. I mean, we haven't entirely burned bridges with Lin Yen Yu. We could try getting in touch with
Which one is that?
her. The female cult leader.
Yeah, the one who gave you a job
She was
and you made
didn't
sure that it
finish
could
it.
not happen. Yeah.
Hmm.
Felt like a burned bridge to me.
I mean, she didn't pay us up front. She wanted to pay us to find him. We just didn't for her.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know that she knows that, though.
Oh, while you guys are here, is there anything else that you want to see that you can figure out about the island?
Well, there might be some fishermen in the ocean, so we gotta be careful around here.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a bit of movement. And considering the number of building, we can have an approximate idea how many people we're dealing with. Which is not like 200s, but a lot still.
Is there a vantage point that we can get a better look at the volcano without getting off the boat?
Um, what were you looking for the volcano?
An ideal spot for a ritual, perhaps an opening that's not the very top, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. One sec here. Miles, why don't you give me a spot hidden since you're looking for something specific here?
Yeah, I'm not going to push it.
Yeah. You don't see anything there. As you're looking, I mean, it is dark. You can see it somewhat from the light of the lava, which indicates that the lava flow is fairly close to the top. But you don't see any signs on like the side of the mountain or anything of that nature that indicate like a ritual site or anything. There's no campfires burning on the side of the volcano or anything of that nature. You do see that there are some gouges in the side of the mountain, probably from previous lava flows that lead all the way from the summit all the way down and kind of branches. You can kind of see them on the map. And it looks like one leads down to the kind of the northern beach, and then another one leads down to the kind of eastern beach. So those are probably pathways that are used to get to and from the mountain, but no sign of anything on the volcano itself. Actually, give me a. Let's call it a natural world roll.
Sorry, who?
Miles, you can roll natural world.
God damn it.
Oh man. So yeah, you don't see anything other than those kind of natural pathways that lead up the summit. One that leads basically past the watchtower, one that leads through the village.
Well, do we want to go back to town and then
I
come
think
back
that's
again?
the right play.
I mean, if we're going to leave without being seen, we need to go soon.
Yeah.
The sun's going to
I
be up
agree.
shortly.
I'm not sure what else we can glean from here, but at least we have an idea now what we're dealing with.
Mm.
We might need less people than I expected, but we should at least try to find some people to perform the ritual with.
Well, I mean, we've seen what's above ground.
Yep.
But if Australia taught us anything, it's that a lot can be hidden underground.
Yeah. They have an habit of using volcano like if it's a handheld.
I mean, I wouldn't want to live inside of something that's spewing smoke the way that is. I also wouldn't want to live on an island that's spewing smoke the way that volcano is. I would not feel safe here.
Nor would you try to poison the sky. I mean,
That's true too. Fair.
you're not crazy cultist number 1 yet.
Yet. Thanks. It's great.
Yeah.
So you guys are heading back to Shanghai?
Yep. While we're on the way back, should we try to find a new place to sleep? Never go back to the place we were, so that try to lose our trail.
Seems like a good idea.
We could ask the gentleman of the boat to drop us in a different spot, and we could try to blend with the foreigner, something like that. I
I'm good
know.
with I'm good with that idea too.
The
I don't think we're
only sorry.
I don't think we'll blend in with anyone. Unless we go to like the English corner.
Yeah, that's what I was proposing. Like
Okay.
to go in the foreigner quarter,
Yeah, we could try.
probably guest house around there.
There are some.
Only problem with
don't-
that plan is that we gave instructions so that your Japanese friend could find us at the other place.
Mm,
We're not gonna
No,
be
we
there.
we can swing by the bar and let them know.
Yeah, they might be tailing us from the bar, so we'll have to be use strange bat to come back afterward, as we might be followed from the bar.
Well, as you guys make your way back to Shanghai, putting the island behind you, we will call it there for this week. You guys get back to Shanghai safe and secure. Your crew has been well paid, so they don't betray you. And Eugene was kind enough to check them for weapons first.
Nice.
Right.
We're all a bit paranoid.
But when you,
Just a bit.
just so you
I'm
guys have,
used to being betrayed by smuggler first, so
just so you guys have something to work with next week. When you get back to Shanghai, there is a message from Captain Taro.
okay, good.
Oh, good.
Good grace. We need that.
And is it screw you guys or
We don't know yet.
No,
Fuck
no,
off, assholes.
no. He tells you to basically make contact with Fergus. Fergus will get a hold of him, and he'll meet you as soon as he can. So
Okay, so we can leave message with Ferguson for him to come to the English Quarter, and once we've got a place to stay there, and then hopefully we can blend in and meet with Captain Tara, meet with Anthony, see what we can find out about the area and who's doing what now, and
build a group of friends that will do the ritual?
who we can possibly exploit. Yes.
We're gonna need to start another anti-cult like we did in the other place. Reverse
Yeah.
cult. I don't know how to call that.
Okay, I need to drop, guys. Have a great day.
Yep. Just
See you guys.
everybody can roll to recover a luck point.
Ooh, that's a very 3D fancy looking
That's
volcano.
the first time, and I gain 1.
It's taunting you.
What can
Go
I do?
luck free.
Perfect. All right. So we'll
Two.
we'll see everybody next week for the continued push towards Grey Dragon Island, and we'll see many of you tomorrow for Forbidden Lands.
Yep.
Yes.
Perfect. All right.
Have a great one.
Have a good night,
Okay,
folks.
everybody.
Night.
Thanks for the game. Have
Yep.
a good night.
Bye, guys.
Do-